If you don't make time for exercise, you'll probably have to make time for illness. Welcome back to Teacher Tales, where we follow one teacher fighting her way through career burnout to find work-life balance and educational bliss if it still exists. I'm your host, Tony Rambles, and on this episode of Teacher Tales, we learn that a health scare can teach you the power of resilience, the importance of a support system, and the necessity of work-life balance. But first, a tale from your favorite teacher. Teagan Raines, a dedicated high school teacher, filled her days with engaging lessons, interactive experiments, and a seemingly endless stream of enthusiastic students. Outside of school, she was an avid runner, often participating in local races and marathons. Life was busy but fulfilling, and Teagan wouldn't have it any other way. One crisp autumn morning, she laced her running shoes up for her usual 5 a.m. jog. Teagan noticed a slight twinge in her chest. At first, she brushed it off as nothing more than muscle strain from the intense workout she had done the day before. However, over the next few weeks, the discomfort became more frequent and harder to ignore. It wasn't just during runs anymore. Even walking up the stairs left her breathless. Despite her active lifestyle and healthy habits, Teagan felt increasingly fatigued. Her students began to notice that she seemed more tired and less animated. Colleagues suggested she take it easy, but Teagan was reluctant to slow down. No surprise there. One day, during a particularly intense lab experiment, Teagan felt a sudden sharp pain in her chest. It was unlike anything she had ever experienced before. Cold sweat dripped down her back, and she found herself struggling to catch her breath. Her vision blurred, and she knew something was seriously wrong. Her colleague noticed her distress and immediately called for help. Have you ever been at work and experienced a health scare? I'd love for you to share your story with us on the Teacher Triumphs Facebook group, where we encourage our fellow educators through teacher burnout. At the hospital, doctors ran a series of tests and discovered that Teagan had a heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a disease in which the heart muscle becomes abnormally thick. The diagnosis came as a shock. How could someone so active and health conscious have a serious heart condition? The doctors explained that HCM can be genetic and may not show symptoms until later in life. Despite a person's outwardly healthy lifestyle, they could still have a condition as serious as this. Teagan's world was turned upside down. She was advised to take a break from teaching and running to focus on her health. For someone who thrived on activity and interaction, this was a devastating blow. However, she knew she had to adapt for the sake of her well-being. Teagan slowly adjusted her lifestyle, focusing on maintaining a balanced diet, lower impact exercises, and managing stress. Returning to the classroom after several months, Teagan found herself with a new perspective. Her health scare had given her a deeper appreciation for life and a renewed passion for teaching. Teagan used her platform as a teacher to inspire not only a love of education, but also an understanding of the importance of listening to one's body and taking proactive steps toward health. In the end, Teagan's unexpected diagnosis became a powerful lesson for both her students, and her family about the fragility of life and the strength of the human spirit. My fellow educators, I have to open up this recap just by saying we have to take care of ourselves. If you are not at your best, at least most of the time, sometimes we're not at 100%, and I get that. Right now, I got a sprained wrist. But being able to recognize what your body is telling you, and slowing down is all a part of overcoming burnout. And sometimes the health diagnosis is totally separate from the burnout that we're going through as teachers, but it 100% adds to that burnout once it happens. So it could be something like dehydration or not getting enough nourishment in your diet, but it could also be something like a cancer diagnosis or a heart condition, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of these different things that we go through as people that add to the burnout that we may experience as educators. On the episode that I'll have coming out this Thursday, I have a teacher who got a cancer diagnosis right before the school year started, and she had just had her second child. That is hardship. But even through her difficult time, and that's a great episode that you guys got to check out. Along with Teagan's story, we do learn these 3 valuable lessons, starting with the power of resilience. Resilience is crucial in overcoming life's unexpected challenges, whether they're in the classroom or outside of them. Despite her diagnosis, Teagan demonstrated remarkable resilience. Now, sometimes we don't start at resilience. We got to cry it out. We got to have that hard time. We got to sit, in the fetal position and really take it in and go through those emotions. That is a healthy part of healing and resilience. Sometimes that is where it starts. But she continued to engage with her work and her students and her health, showing that maintaining a positive and proactive attitude can help navigate through difficult times. Her journey teaches us that resilience is not just about enduring a hardship, but also finding ways to thrive despite them. A lot of times that will come with some changes that you have to make, right? We talked about how she had to really stop running, and that was her world, at least part of it, and do some other kinds of exercises. But we have to make some changes once these health things happen. And it is you should be mindful to be proactive and do some of these things and make some of these changes on the front end. I know when I got back from China, my wife and I made some changes to our nutrition and the things that we ate. Now, we're not vegan or we don't buy all organic, but we try to eat more fruits, more vegetables, stay away from the junk and the fast food. I'm not going to say we don't eat that stuff at all, but it's a lot less than we used to. And I am a carb cutter, especially like pastas and stuff. Now, I love lasagna. I love a good pasta. But for me, cutting some of that stuff out and filling it with probably healthier carbs like oatmeal is a change that I made to be proactive in my lifestyle. So, number 2, the importance of a support system. Strong support system is essential for navigating a health crisis. So throughout the diagnosis and the treatment, Teagan relied on a network of supportive colleagues, friends, and family. And this provides the emotional support that we need, sometimes the practical support that we need if you're bedridden or you've broken a limb and you can't move like you used to. Family and friends, those people are very important to have around. And colleagues as well, because, you still got classes that are still going, even though you're not there. So having these great people around us that to take the load off is really, really important. And you have to build those relationships when you're not, in the hospital. So you got to get out of your room. Maybe sometimes mosey on over to the teacher's lounge. And if it's kind of toxic in there, don't stay. But at least, show your face, wave, and say hi to people. Build that support system. The last part is the necessity of work-life balance. Now, I've talked about this on previous episodes of how the balance is tipped to one side or another at times, and especially when we're in different seasons of education. Beginning of the year, end of the year, if you coach a sport, whenever your sport is in season. So sometimes it's not going to be 50-50. But the more that you can do things to offset those difficult stressors, like exercise, like having a support system to help you with other things when the scales are tipped more in the work side instead of the life side, it's important to have those people around. You see, all of this just builds on one another. Teagan's experience underscores the need to set boundaries and prioritize personal health and family over work demands, given you have the time and the wherewithal to create that system. And if you don't have one, then you got to make one. By adjusting your workload, you allow yourself time to rest and recover, and you can emphasize self-care. This lesson serves as a reminder that maintaining a balance between professional responsibilities and personal life is the key to sustaining both physical and mental health. Both are 100% important, not 50-50, 100% and 100%. The math works just like that. So let's recap. Number one, the power of resilience is crucial to overcoming life's unexpected challenges. Number two, the importance of a support system. A strong support system is essential for navigating these health crises when they pop up, no matter how big or small they may be. And lastly, number three, the necessity of work-life balance is vital for long-term health and well-being. And remember, sometimes the scales can tip a little bit to the work side and maybe a little bit more back to the life side. Eventually, we hope. With that being said, that is our episode for today. Of course, I will have someone else on this Thursday, the wonderful educator, Stephanie, to talk about her battle with cancer. You do not want to miss that. For more teacher tips on burnout and time management, join our Facebook group, Teacher Triumphs, Overcoming Burnout and Balancing Life. This is where we share applicable strategies and encourage each other on the journey through education. Until the next time, keep teaching, keep learning, and I will see you all on the next journey.